At the end of the day, about 15 projects commissioned. The president, you have the honor of hosting the president personally, at least 4 times during that period. You commissioned about 4 of the projects personally. This must make you feel so, special that you could drag the president up and down at least 4 times in the last 3 weeks.
Well, Banya, thank you very much. I was not dragging the president up and down. Rather, the president had the interest to see that the people of Abuja, the residents of Abuja, are happy with what he's doing. And so that affords him the opportunity to see for himself what he has done to us. The president personally attended 5 times. 5 times. One was the commissioning of the rehabilitation of the Bola Tinubu International Conference Center. Another one he attended was the interchange at the Grishi area. And then another one was the Abuja Greater Water, and then another one was the A2 Pi Road, and then flagging off of the annex of the Independent Electoral Commission. So he has attended 5 times personally and has mandated the Senate President, the Speaker, the Deputy Senate President, and the Vice President to take responsibility of what I was, of course, because of the numerous engagements. If you recollect, the Speaker represented in the map was and then so commissioning the Kabusa Keti road of 9.5 kilometers. And again, the Speaker represented in commissioning the access roads in the Giri district. And then the Senate President represented him in commissioning the office from Apo Mechanic to Wasa. And also, and again, the Speaker represented him in commissioning the access roads in the Giri district. And then the Senate President represented him in commissioning the Essex from Apo Mechanic to Wasa. And also represented commissioning the Kubo bus to taxi terminal, and also represented Mr. President in the interchange of the N20 leading to the Northern Parkway. Mr. Vice President has represented Mr. President in it will be rounded up tomorrow by the Vice President commissioning roads and the region Nigeria and all other roads, which is about 10-point-something kilometers. So the whole thing was done by President, but it will be impossible for President to, for 16 days, personally, rounded up tomorrow by the Vice President commissioning, going to Wagaba commission the Palace roads and the region Nigeria and all other roads, which is about 10-point-something kilometers. So the whole thing was done by President, but it will be impossible for President to, for 16 days, personally. But what is important, every important public officer represented Mr. President, from the level of the Vice President to the Deputy Senate President, to the Senate President, to the Speaker, and the Deputy Senate President. So that's where we are. So we are not just dragging President up and down, rather we are celebrating the works of Mr. President.
Yes, I do have a follow-up. You've been on marathon this while commissioning projects. Are there some projects you would have loved to add to this batch of commissioning that perhaps for some reason are not in this batch and you hope to get commissioned
yes.
soon?
In fact, as I speak to you, we look at the whole thing and we have to divide it into two segments. We believe that from September, we have the opportunity of inviting Mr. President and sometimes maybe the head of judiciary decision to be able to commission the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal, and then the residential quarters of the justices of the Court of Appeal, judges of the Federal High Court, and that of the FCT High Court, and some other rules like Kabusa, Kabushera. So many projects were lined up. It will be impossible for us, President, the president of the country. You have a lot of engagement, So we'll try to split them, So that's what we're doing.
Chris?
Okay, thank you very much. No doubt you've given the Federal Capital Territory a first lift. One would somehow begin to wonder if we had leadership within this area in the past years. But when you were making your initial answering his question, you made reference to the flag off of the construction of the INEC headquarters.
Yep.
After that flag off, tongues were wagging. INEC is supposed to be an independent body, take care of their own issues, and the executive is coming to dabble into their own exclusive affairs. So are you worried?
I'm not worried about tongues wagging. Tongues will always wag. One thing you must know is that, and to the glory of God, the chairman of Osamamunia Kupu. So there's nothing new about FCDA constructing an office space. All public buildings have been carried out by FCDA. It has nothing to do or interfering with our work, even where they are. So all public buildings are always carried out by FCDA, through FCDA. That has been there. But you see, like you have said, there's nothing you do that people who do not mean well for this country will not criticize. So how does that interfere in the independence of the INEC? If you also say so, it also means that even when you provide structures and logistics for the police, for the army security, you are also interfering. They ought to carry out their duties independently. And for me, this country can move forward when we begin to belittle on issues that will not help us to grow. The INEC chairman, Pastor Mamudia Kubu, right out from day one, whichever name you may call it, whether NEC, whether FEDICO, whatever you may call it, as they came into Abuja, every structure they have is built by FCT through FCDA. So there's nothing new. The president said, look, they've complained of sort of an accommodation, and you have to provide a befitting accommodation so that they don't go start renting and being embarrassed by landlords and the rest. So we should commend the government for taking bold step instead of really meanings to everything you do. I think that's not fair.
I still follow up on that.
Follow up. This is democracy, sir. People will hold you accountable for whatever you do as a public officer. And people are still talking about the International Conference Center.
Yes.
They are saying that it was built by the military regime of self-styled President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida.
Yep.
And it was built for 200 and something million, and you ended up renovating it for 39 billion or 40 something billion. But as a matter of fact, that you now went ahead to name it Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center.
Yes.
That it was wrong. That it wasn't this administration that built that edifice. If there's anything, it should be named after Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida if you are going to name it at all.
I like that. Very good. Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport was built by Nnamdi Azikiwe. Moshood Abiola Stadium was built by Moshood Abiola. Why do we reduce ourselves? That you built something means it will be named after you. Certainly not.
Not necessarily. No.
Certainly not. That I built a bus terminal to be named after me.
No.
So why would it be named after the man whom you said that I built it?
So after renovation, why did you name it after Tinubu?
Hold on. 1991, that place was built. 1991 by Julius Berger. We have had presidents. Nobody had deemed it necessary to say, look, how can you have something that was built in 1991? When Mr. President last year went to inaugurate the ECOWAS Parliament, it was embarrassing. It takes a leader who has quality, who has vision. He came in, the next thing he did was to call the Senate President and called me. Is it an international conference center? Is it what we are telling West African countries and that is what we have? Is it the kind of image we are projecting Nigeria? He said, no, he won't take this. And I apologized to him that that's my first time of coming to that place. And that this was what happened. The place was given to a politician from Adamawa State, a senator. You can't believe that is the only thing we have to showcase to the world in case we're having international conferences and this. Where do they go to? Must they go to a hotel? And the president said, no, this cannot happen. And give me a marching order, this has to be done, shut it down, and you must do everything humanly possible within a short time. We did what we call under emergency procurement. If we are going through the normal processes, it will take you 1 year, 1.5 years. But the law allows us to go under emergency procurement. And we looked at who are those who built this or who built this without finding out it was Julius Berger. But again, let me come to say something. When you say 200 million. You know, people talk for talking's sake. You built it in 1991, 200 million. What was the exchange rate? What was the exchange rate in 1991? And what's the exchange rate now? The only thing that we didn't do in that structure was to bring the whole thing down. Everything was removed. I'm sure if you go there today, you'll be happy for them. Now let me tell you how this country works. The man they gave me to was paying to the FCT every year 50 million naira. As I speak to you, that place was commissioned in June 10. Do you know the revenue was made? Within 3 weeks, 650 million naira.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Already.
650 million naira. But this was somebody giving us 50 million naira a year. What? That is the country we are in. 50 million naira a year. And we have realized 650 million naira in 3 weeks. Why? People love good things. The president hosted the equal access of state in that international conference center. Go and see the comments from ambassadors. People are rushing that place now. In fact, there's no space. As I speak to you, it has been booked up to 2027. Really? Yes. You know, the country we are in is a place that if you begin to pay attention to frivolities, you won't achieve anything. If I listen to, when I shut down that place, if I tell you comments from high-ranking Nigerian senators, ministers, oh, this man was one of our men, and that's what does that have to do with me? What we are talking about, is it what Nigeria should present to the world that they have? And now you are saying, why did I name it after Bola? Who should I name it after? Tell me. Who is more qualified?
You probably would have left it as international.
What is called International Conference Center? What is called International Conference Center?
For the fathers,
excuse me, we have IBB, hold on. We have IBB International Golf Course. Is that correct? Why did you leave it International Golf Course? We have IBB International Golf Course.
There is the question of continuity after the tenure of the president, whether in the next 4 or so.
You cannot change it. Because there was nobody's name, we never change anybody's name. International Conference Center is not a name to anybody. And it still answers you. All who says, Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center.
You're confident that no one will come after you?
If you do that, that's their business. Maybe you have something. You cannot change when it is named after somebody. You go and remove the name and go and give it another person. International Conference Center is nobody's name. It's nobody's name. Have you had anybody answer International Conference Center? Okay. So if they have given it, say, Benga, International Conference Center, and then I come and remove Benga, then you will be, sir, why would you remove Benga and give it to Chris? In this case, it is named International Conference Center. And what is International Conference Center? We must have to apologize.
What's your response to the allegation of this is a case of extreme sacrifice?
What is sacrifice again? Knowing me very well, what is sacrifice? Sacrifice that somebody showed leadership. Sacrifice that somebody had given support for me to achieve what was achieved. It's only when the person dies. We would like to remember the dead. But we don't want to remember people who are alive, who are putting up their energy to make sure the country gets better. It's only when they die, you remember them. I will not do that.
Say that he's doing what he's elected to do, as the leader of the country.
But some people that were elected and they didn't do. What about those who were elected and they didn't do it? So if you're elected and you are doing it, why not say, look, this one has done it? And let us recognize you. Okay. What do you lose that is named after him? Tell me.
Your Excellency, quite recently, we are seeing so many, monuments, projects being named after Mr. President.
Yes.
We're having roads, we're having schools, polytechnics, now International Conference Center and all that. Past leaders didn't really do that.
I don't know about the schools. Tell me any president that was not named, that has not named in terms of roads. Yeah. Mention one. Mention one. Why should his road now be problem? You have a president at Boulevard. You have IDB. You have Buhari. You have Babangida.
Yeah, Redwa.
So what is all this Kulabalu that they named after president and this? Who would they name? We name it after Abramas. Not only. We should only we name after Professor Ewolo Shenga. Why do you not criticize that?
It's the optics of it. Some people say that there are other issues that should be taking attention, not people being distracted by they say they are hungry and then everything is being named after the president.
What has hunger got to do with? I named this place in the name of somebody. What has that got to do with the hunger? Is the hunger caused for the fact that I named a hall after somebody?
Is that
the cause of the
being sensitive to the sentiments being expressed?
Who are those expressing that?
Nigerians.
People generally.
Who are the people? The people who are from day one do not want to see you. The people who are from day one have opposed him. I mean, let us focus on what will move the country forward. I don't know how naming and anything like that in favor of Mr. President will stop hunger or will increase hunger. How?
Okay, Honorable Minister, let's end the issue of projects this way. Your first year, about 9 projects commissioned?
Yeah.
About 15 or so now. And now, if I know you too well, you already have something on paper for for next year, for the next one year. Yes. What are the projects that you have
I don't let the cat out of the bag. Just don't worry.
Okay.
All you should work whether we got the subject to showcase, knowing us very well. You know. We don't know what will be maybe more than what we have done now. Remember, last year we did 7 days.
So
this year we have done 16 days. We are doing 16 days. So it means that the likelihood in the 3rd year it may be 20 days. But you see, what does it tell you? Today I'm happy. Even when we go to a commission project, you see people with placard. Please remember us here. Remember us here. Remember us here. It makes me happy. Has anybody before gone to say, okay, remember us here? Nobody. It gives us that happy. Oh, look, for the first time, a president, Senate president, will go to rural areas who have seen president in the rural area before. That tells you that look, the way they feel for the city is also the way they feel for the satellite town. So all this, people should, we have always told people, you don't need to like me. But am I doing the right thing? Look at what's happening in the FCT today. Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are angry that we're providing roads for everywhere in FCT. All those who say Nigerians are angry, they're all living here in Maitama, in Asokoro, using the interchanges and flyovers. But they are not seeing those things. They have not come to say, look, you have done well here. Everything you hear, Nigerians are angry.
Okay, I think some of the... Okay, I think some of the concern, there was protest by primary school teachers and children have been out of school for about 3 months. We know that you have a meeting scheduled, but why is it taking so long? I mean, couldn't this have been addressed a little earlier?
Okay, I thought you would have said, thank God steps are taken to resolve the problem. But you know the background. That is what I've always told people that I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry to say, I'm going to do personally with you. But it has to do with our kind of journalism. We don't carry out what we call investigative journalism. You just see somebody carrying placards and that. Have you gone to find out whose responsibility? It's not our responsibility.
It's the local government.
It's the area council. Several times we have come to intervene. Have you had any secondary school that's any strike? Have you had that we don't pay workers their salaries? Remember too, you have already talked about autonomy of local government. You are forcing me to seize their funds. Tomorrow you say governors, FCT minister, always collect the money from the allocation of the local government. Is their responsibility? We have come together. We said, listen, the last time we have to bill them out for 60% of the money. This time around we start. And also, the teachers should also try to understand too. We know, and that's one of the problems we hold in this country today, of our top of democracy and top of federalism, where you fix minimum wage for everybody without considering the peculiarities. Now, you have said this is what they're going to earn. But you've not found out what is the allocation to these area councils and how much do they make? Do they have the capacity to pay this? Why would they have allowed them to negotiate? But again, it has happened, it has happened.
Good.
Again, I do not have the power to seize their funds. It requires intervention. Mind you, we don't have any assembly. Our assembly is the House of Reps and Senate. So I cannot unilaterally take action except they amend the law. I cannot. So, when I start to have a chance, listen, in negotiations, it's give and take. You two must face a reality. You see, one problem we have with labor is they like, who will say you should not earn their wages or whatever? Who will do that? But the reality is, with what they are facing, with the funds available to them, can they? Certainly not. However, you can say, okay, let us take it in phases. What they are talking about is arrears. Do you know how much you are talking about? About 18 billion naira. And I said, look, it's not in this mood, it's not in doubt. Even some of the demands they make are outrageous. With all due respect. But however, we have struggled, and this and they have got it. Okay. Do you know what? Which is even illegal, what I've done? By seizing the 10% IGR of the area councils. May and June, I said, don't give to them. Let's calculate it, how much is it? Let's see how much we can put in.
With their consent?
Now you're talking about consent.
Yeah.
You see, now you're talking about
consent. It's about sustainability as well.
See, these are the things.
Yeah.
So if we follow the way it's supposed to be, the legal aspect of it, you know what I'm doing is not constitutional. You know that?
Yes.
It's not. However, this is where public interest now overrides. It's okay. Look, should we continue to allow our children to be at home simply because by law you have no power to do it? So that it's not every time we talk law.
Yeah,
and it's not when it does not favor you, you journalists will come up. He has no such powers.
Yeah. Yes.
But there's a danger in that, isn't it?
But what do I do? Well, what do I do? Do you want me to wait for amendments? How long will it take? Then it can take you to 1 year.
But are these solutions sustainable? Because if you handle the situation
that is
today,
one problem. What is sustainable is that the law must be amended. But in amending that law, it will take a long time, and then you continue to run. If I do not give you this background now, you may not have even the Federal Minister of Education issued a statement. It is not FCT, it is area council, like you said, local government council. It's like in the states now, you are owing salary. You are saying federal government has not done anything. What is the business with the federal government? They're giving you your allocation. You can pay 26. You can solve your problem.
Empirically, are we saying that even the responsibility of paying primary school teachers is beyond the capacity of local governments and area councils? Are we saying so?
I think so. I believe so. Let me tell you. And I say it here. When you see the staff of the FCT, you will ask yourself, how did FCT have almost 50,000 workers? How? How? As I speak to you now, the salary is about almost 13 billion every month. Now, what do we get from the federal government? If the federal government gets 800 billion naira a month, they give us 1%. 1% of 800 billion is 8 billion naira. It's 8 billion naira. With 8 billion naira, can I pay the salary with the minimum wage? Can he pay the allowances that health hazard this all kinds? It's only in Nigeria see all kinds of things. I heard they went and locked the gates, right? No worker, but they are taking their salary. Now have they asked? You lock gates, but your salary will be paid.
Okay, Your Excellency, ordinarily,
yes,
you know, you've given a whole lot of explanations.
Yes.
Plausible, no doubt. But knowing you, yes, one would have still expected, yes, that the strike by primary school teachers, yeah, would not last this long, that you would have intervened early enough. But that is one, sir.
I thought we did intervene, but the workers, the teachers, have not been realistic. That it will be difficult for this fund just once. It will be difficult. Allow them to pay interest. That's what I said here. I'm not saying that the area council don't also have their own portions of blames, you know. I'm not saying that. But we must be realistic. Government is not done. Government is not run that way.
But the councils have no problem with the kind of Marshall Plan that you propose now, which is warehouse their own share of your internally generated revenue and then augment it by probably up to 60%. I just want to be sure whether that is going to be on a sustainable basis.
We were meeting today by 12 this afternoon. And they have not been happy that, but I say, well, the situation we are now, that's what we can do about it.
What are they not happy with?
All they are saying that, look, it's our right. I say, well, it's our right. We have to stabilize the FCT. We don't have to cause security crisis. While it's our right. So, you know, under normal circumstances, some could go to court to challenge you. Some could go to court. And whether you like it or not, the issue is, do you have the right to stop their funds?
No, but yes,
do you have the right? Certainly not. Because again, on a human face, you are ready to take the risk.
yeah.
And these are things we want you to also bear with us.
Yeah.
That it is not easy. These are our challenges. These are problems for us.
Okay. With the FCT experience, particularly regarding this teacher strike, would you want to advocate the kind of a constitutional review in terms of what should be the responsibility?
Yeah, we'll do that.
At least to make a payment of teacher salary sustainable.
Yeah.
You see, that's where you see in most states sometimes when you say states are tampering with local government funds, it's not just primary school teachers that are workers. Because they don't want anything that will make teachers to sit at home. So it gives room now to interfere in local government allocations.
Now, just to pursue what he said about long-term solutions, because is it possible to start now and perhaps get some law put in place before your time in office is up?
The chairman of FCT and the chairman of media councils in the House of Reps, they will all be here today. We have met and they've all agreed to see how they propose some amendments. I will see how we'll be able to, reduce this kind of problems in the future. And they appreciate and agree that people don't have the facts about the entire scenario. I ask them, why do you lock up FCT? Why don't go to the area council and lock up? Well, you are not under me. So why do you come here to lock the gate, cry and carry children to come and to still don't bother them? What bother did that look? You cannot see the future of the children, not being allowed to grow. It's not fair.
So I guess they come to you because they believe you are someone that don't take no for an answer. You get things done.
Or probably because you have been commissioning projects all over the place.
Because it affects the project. I could as well to not use the money to do the project. After all, I'm not the first minister here.
Talking about projects, sir, a lot of people, now that there's this protest within the FCTA workers over issues bordering on salaries. Yes, you could commission projects and everything, but we're now talking about welfare of your staff.
What's the welfare? What are they entitled to that have not been paid?
Workers' salaries.
First of all, it's unfortunate. We believe that the moment you go to the gate and block the gate, that will make it to get where they're supposed to get. First of all, I want the head of service is the head of the workers. As far as I'm concerned, I do not know what workers are. It's not my business. It is the head of service that puts it to say, look, I've seen where they have brought fine, pay this, and that. Of course I pay. They're talking about, they've not done their promotion, no promotion. All kinds of things. You just started the minimum wage. Increasing minimum wage. Then the next day talk about promotion. All the things are part of it has financial implications.
But, Honorable Minister,
everybody's just talking about, I want to end this, I want to end this. And nobody wants development. Can you ending alone bring development?
Should go together.
No, but that's not what we're doing. The government has just increased the minimum wage. Then the next 2 hours, give us promotions. Come on.
Is it not the function of the law that this people have a right?
When you begin to apply the law. See, all this is that government cannot take all its funds for payment of salaries. It means there will be no school. It means there will be no road. Nowhere is it done. And then when government says, okay, let me say I can collect the taxes. He said, oh no. Where does government get the money from? Particularly as it concerns FCT. Where do you get it from? What are taxes? And people have just given you the analysis how much you get from federal government, assuming they get 800 billion a month, which does not apply. Assuming. So you need more money to pay the salaries, not to talk about the infrastructure. Therefore, we now run to people like you who live in Maitama, Who live in Asokoro? Who live in Wuse? Pay your taxes. No poor man lives in all these areas. No poor man.
Yeah, you did say when you came on that you wouldn't mind taxing the rich, hurting them to get things done for public good. But
I don't say which one. I said I'm step on toes.
Yes.
So the one which hunt.
No. I didn't say witch hunt. I said hurt the rich to get.
No. But when I mean hunting, illegally.
No. Okay.
No. You know you can hurt somebody by being wicked.
True.
But if I allow the law to take place, it hurts. It's not my business.
Okay, so I was actually
still on the issue of promotion.
The...
Still on the issue of promotion, which of course your workers at the FCTA are raising. We recall when you were governor in Rivers State, you also commissioned lots and lots of projects, roads, flyovers. The workers also raised the issue of on promotion, no promotion. You know, and it's like the lightning striking at some same point the second time.
You're not correct. You know, if I tell you, like I've said, okay, take for example, the promotion you're talking about, did you have their promotion before I came? You did not kill anybody. It is now I came that you now know that promotion was being done. A government was there. You never even see any eyebrow. That you see me commissioning projects has become a problem. If the projects were not being done, would you have raised eyebrow? In any case, must you protest before you think that I said I was not going to say any of them. And I'm not going to see them.
What is the level of the involvement of workers in all of these projects? Probably that is what is informing their projects.
They want to
be the contractors. Who are those? Do they want to be the contractors? That's working the system here. So many things who are not working. Okay. Now because we are going to change things, they are not happy about it. Who's the executive? Procurement, all those things are all civil servants. I'm not the one. Now you lock the gate. I just ask a simple question. You lock the gate, but they are paying salary. Where did they stay to sign that salary that you are paying you?
Okay.
So I thought, since there will be no work, let nobody go and sign your salary. So you will collect the salary that you sign.
For that crisis.
And then you lock the gate. So I can say, I can't go to work. The gate has been locked. I have no access to my office. Treasurer cannot go. So where will you collect your salary from?
Yeah. Honorable Minister.
But shamelessly, they've not even asked where did I stay to sign the salary. They are collecting.
Well,
what I will not take is threat. What I will not take is intimidation. I will not do it. Nothing will make, because there are processes. You write to me, this and this, I need to the head of science. What is there, what's the position?
But at least they got your attention now.
But you just go and carry placard to embarrass me because some politicians are using you because of achievements we have recorded. I will not listen to you.
Yeah, but they got your attention now.
I will finish the commissioning tomorrow.
But they got your attention. Sorry, sir.
Enjoy my life. I will carry that placard. Yes, I will do it.
But they got your attention now, and you're having an emergency meeting with them.
No, that's anything.
Okay. I thought the workers were also involved, and NANS and all of them.
Like what I've said, you have not written to me to say, look, these are your problems.
But they're giving you another notice of 20 days or so? Or 23 days?
For 3 days. Continue. You know, the only thing we think we do here is only when politicians use you, give you some money. I was watching video, what one of them was saying, so embarrassing in staff. I can see he had turned to be a politician, and I will face him as a politician. At the appropriate time, I will tell him that, look, you know, what you don't know, you don't go in. What you don't know, you don't go in. As a civil servant, look at the kind of statement you're making. You are talking now like a politician, that you have people backing you. It's okay.
Talking about achievements and the array of projects you're doing, are you worried that beggars are coming back to Abuja streets? In fact, if you get to some junctions, they even attack motorists. Are you concerned about that?
Perhaps attached to that is also the issue of the poor waste management in the FCT general.
There's no poor waste management. We're talking about beggars. Now let me tell you something. You know, like I always said, these beggars, I think are coming from somewhere. You remember I went to defend my budget in the Senate. The senator said I should provide for these beggars. So what I will do, beggars from Abia, they will not leave Abia. Beggars from Kaduna, they will not leave Kaduna. Beggars from Imo, Rivers, Sokoto, all. They will now move into Abuja. Now it's my responsibility to begin to provide for them. Who does that? Who does that? And then when you begin to say, listen, where are you coming from? Take them back. It becomes, first of all, ethnicity will come in, religion will come in. This vote, for Christ's sake, this is a city. This is the capital of a country. This is the capital of a country. You cannot tell me that you're not able to carry out responsibility in your areas, and then it becomes a burden for that state to carry. How do you say that? But again, we're being very careful. You know, as I yesterday, we met with security agencies, we're providing the logistics, we also have scavengers and this, trying to destroy what we have.
I'm not sure if there's a connection though, but my colleague did a report not too long ago about one chance, increasing cases of one chance in Abuja.
You don't carry correct stories.
She did. She spoke to people who have been victims.
Where?
But
you know, I've always said this.
Beggar.
No, if
beggar.
I agree with you.
In the morning.
Yes, I agree with that from beggars. But the issue of one chance is not correct. Give us credit that we have been able to reduce the level of insecurity in FCT. Give us that credit. Why is it difficult for people to give credit to government? The only thing we do is to bring challenges. You don't talk about progresses that have been made. And it's a bad system. I have never seen, that's what I said, investigative journalism. Where did we get this report from? Where did this happen?
It's all
there
over.
Are people who spoke.
Honorable Minister, it's all over.
Who have been
we get feedbacks.
Why not hold on? You get feedback from who?
A beggar is set up now.
Let me tell you. You get feedback, look at the reports people are writing. How you gave your son 2,000 hectares of land. That cost about $3.something billion.
I wasn't confident.
No, hold on. These are the kind of things you write. Even you sitting down on your own.
Not all credible platforms take that.
It's journalists, you don't tell me that.
Somebody close to me was picked by one chance people.
From beggar.
In Abuja here.
Because my office. My problem with you, when an incident happened, you not say it is rampant. For Christ's sake, you cannot say in a city you cannot have a crime. It's not correct. And we must, and that's what I've always said, that it happened in Beggar last night, for example. That don't mean that it's not rampant. You cannot say, you cannot have an incident of kidnap. You cannot say that. We're in this world, even in America, the most developed in terms of technology and the rest of it. You cannot say that. But the point we're making is that, have we done something that you can say today that insecurity has really come down in FCT? You're not even talking about that. All you are picking, one of my friends called me last night. So, for how long now have they called you? For the past 6 months, have anybody called you? Just they called you one last night. That has not made it, you're not being fair to the system.
Honorable Minister.
You want balance. Your stories.
All right.
Give us credit for what we have done.
Okay.
And then come up to say These are challenges that we are seeing.
All right, sir. We need to go on a quick break. When we get back, you will still be answering that question on waste management in the FCT. You said it's not a problem. People say it's a problem. And I can point out to areas where waste management is a problem in Abuja. But we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, have that at the back of your mind. Is ministerial shout? We're on the break.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News. My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news stories, trending stories, business news, stock exchange and what have you. But with TVC News on WhatsApp, I'm able to catch up with all the breaking news, real-time updates and trending stories on the go, right on my phone, no matter where I am. It's quick, easy and always on. And here you can join us by scanning the QR code or using the link on our X and Instagram. Why wait? Come to the side of news that keeps you ahead. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa and Igbo? Where we get a common language where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam self and every person wey dey for street. That's why we dey introduce you 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station where they unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show Waiting Day with your brother, your friend Wale Po.
Everywhere.
So Bobo.
This na Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Oh.
Now we be What's Up Naija crew. Now we they give you what they stop for inside we country.
Yes, so
keep it loud.
If God be your papa, why you not gonna make younger?
How do I holla? Now here we dey settle all the matter.
Bro, you're right here. Nobody better than we, right?
Okay, now whispers be that. Make I just be the last sensible voice where you go hear.
Now we be 89.9 Yanga FM.
Welcome to the transformative journey of Gombe State. Like a beautiful bride in the savannah, Gombe State is steadily growing to become a commercial and investment hub with accelerated development of world-class infrastructure, quality education, and healthcare. The jewel in the savannah, under the visionary leadership of Governor Inuwa Yahaya, is taking giant strides in the quest to making Gombe State a paradise in Nigeria's northeast region. Join us on this adventure every Thursday by 3:30 p.m. as we explore Gombe's transformative journey to greatness.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It's a countdown to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
How would you say your administration has fared in these sectors?
I will dig in to get to the heart of issues, from local politics to global insight. Join me as I unearth the power plays, jaw-dropping revelations, and the unfiltered truth. This isn't just politics.
Just joining us is Ministerial Chat with the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. We've just done 1 hour now. We're coasting home on the last segment. Largely it will be politics. But before we get there, there were some issues that you were alluding to. I would like you to properly trash them out. Is it true that you allocated plots, 40,000 plots of land, Abuja land? 200,000. 200,000? Not 40,000 again? of plots to yourself, your sons, and your cronies? Sorry, sir. Let me just say.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. The second one, still related to land, from 11,000 hectares to 4,000 meters, University of Abuja land. How just is that? And is it actually right to accuse an institution like that of land grabbing and all of that? We'd like you to clarify
what do you mean by this? Now let me tell you, see, sometimes I want to call that since you don't reply. There are certain stories you come and tell me. And I'll tell you, thank you, will you get up from my office? First of all, calculate the time my time, and that's okay. Where we have 2,000 hectares of land. Ordinary mathematics just tells you that. And then for the value of $3.something billion US, in that sense, you're talking about almost 4-5 trillion naira. And then you want me to stay to listen to you. These are the kind of things I tell people. There are stories you come and tell me. Okay, he gave his son 4,000 square meters of land. Okay, maybe it's correct. For example, I can okay, let me listen to it. When all this badabash, rubbish, and I know where it's coming from.
Where?
I know it's from Adamawa State. I'm aware. You see, what you cannot do to anybody, it doesn't make sense. In any case, for example, assuming do not consider, you apply to me to allocate land to you, right? Because you're a citizen of Nigeria. My children are not citizens. They are Ghanaians. Assuming do not consider, doesn't make sense. I'm sure if I look at the envelope, if I look at the file, most of you must have applied for land. So you want me to sit down and allocate to you? Now if my children apply, they are not entitled because I'm the minister.
Did you give your children
I have told
any
you
plot of land at all?
I have told you, bring the document.
You said the allegation is coming from Adamawa. Adamawa is big.
Yes, I have
is it from your friend, the governor?
I have told you that. Forget about that. My friend. You know, man. So the point I'm making that, you see, what you call empirical evidence. Empirical evidence. I sit here, I sign so many things. I see so many people's passports, former ministers, governors, and this. National Assembly members. It was alleged that my agency was the one who signed. Now, let me tell you. When they gave ministers land, I told my agency, sign, give it to me. When I go to FEC, I hand it over to them, right? Because my agency signed for hospital, it becomes my land. National Assembly members, that's okay, sign for them. I will take it when I see the speaker. I give it to, for example, it becomes my land. What kind of thinking? What kind of characters are this?
We heard the president has directed that this issue be investigated. Have you been invited by any committee set up by the president?
Those who say president directed, let them wait now for the committee to invite me. You think the president has nothing to do, has no job to do? You think that, you, assuming somebody tells you that, will you listen to it?
But
will you listen to it, know fully well that Matama and Asoko cannot? So if you come and tell me that, why would I even have time to even say, okay, let me investigate it? Why would I do that?
40,000 plus.
You know it's got 40,000 plus. Calculate it. Please, let us focus on what.
But your initial reaction, you spoke about land for agricultural purposes. Would you like to clarify that?
Do what?
In your initial reaction, whether you personally or on your behalf, you were giving an explanation about land for agricultural purposes somewhere in Buhari or so.
That's not what they said. They never said so. What my president said, look, Jack was found, was given land in Buhari. How does that become my son? That's the point I'm making. People apply for land for agriculture. People apply for land for agriculture. And what we have always said, you must have to tell us when would this come in. Not giving you become a land speculator, which has always been happening in the FCT. Some people will tell you mass housing. For 5 years, nothing has happened. They begin to spread it and start selling. So these are the kind of things you face every day. And when you even take, you see, when you're trying to correct certain things, you know that people will also fight you back. That we're taking decisions that, look, we have to revoke if you don't do this. People will also make sure that they fight you back. So some of us were not perturbed about that. And with the kind of things we have achieved, people are not comfortable about it. So they will do everything to derail you or to make sure that all that rubbish is or what you have achieved. But we cannot be distracted. Never.
When you talk politics, you don't mince words and you shoot straight. You mentioned Adamawa. Adamawa is a state.
You told me that you will come to politics.
Adamawa, yes, we are very into politics.
Hold on.
University of Abuja.
Hold on, don't mix up. Don't mix up.
Because you accuse Adamawa, that's what I want to know. Adamawa is not interesting.
You are taking my time. Tomorrow now, you say we are spending 1 hour. We didn't spend 1 hour. You are the one taking that. You say you will speak politics. Let us wait for politics section to come.
Can we move into politics? Okay, talking about politics. We have moved into politics. Who is Adamawa that is behind this issue that you said?
Does that affect Nigeria? Why not talk about what would affect
Honorable Minister, talking about politics.
Yes.
Talking about politics.
Yes.
We have clearly seen that you have reconciled with your political godson. Yeah, we've seen you at different places, events, and there is obvious peace has obviously returned, to Rivers State. But beyond that, like I said earlier on, tongues are also wagging. What really went down? How were you able to get this reconciliation? Some people say he has traded his mandate away.
Second time.
So many things. Okay. Let's hear from you.
Well, let me just tell you this. Those of you who hear where tongues are wagging, I have never had, I don't owe anybody any explanation how peace was achieved. What's important is that peace. Yes. Do you like peace? Yes. So, what are you going to benefit from how the peace was achieved? The most important thing is, do you have peace? Yes.
At what cost?
What cost?
Perhaps you could help discountenance publications that are saying that one of the terms for agreement was he was not going to come for.
Was that what if that is, did he tell you that? Did he tell you that?
That's what we're seeking to.
No, you cannot say for women, I'm not the one going to run election. So if you say that was the decision, then he should be able to be the one to tell you. What's my business? He has never spoken to you on that. You are the ones who are promoting disunity, making money for your stations. Inviting people, but it's true. Inviting people to come to your stations to talk. Now, the well has dried. No more oil. So you are not happy. Everybody, let me tell you, and it's most unfortunate when I hear people say something they have no facts, you have no evidence. You just speculate, maybe, no.
So
how do you do that? And let me tell you, it is not in your position. We settled, and we went to Mr. President never invited us. Mr. President never called a meeting, you say this, you say this. The bit I can tell you, the governor met with the House of Assembly, the governor met with the National Assembly, privately. The governor met with leaders. And they said, now having settled, can you now go and tell President we have settled? President never one day. And that's what people do that. Oh, President did this. President trying to force something on people. You don't even know anything. You just sit down because no more money will come out to give you to appear and arise.
We want to know the terms of this reconciliation. The terms of this reconciliation.
Listen, were you part of the peace? Have you ever one day invited us to come and make peace? So what is their business now?
But we have a
all you have been doing is how you can get somebody from Rivers, go to Arise, instruct somebody, invite somebody to go to TVC, talk about against this person, invite them to go to News Central, AIT. Now it's no longer available. It's no longer available. And you are not comfortable. And it is my duty to make you not to be comfortable. I'm not going to give you that comfort.
It is the issues that oftentimes...
What are the issues? You know the issues.
There is an emergency rule in Rivers State. So now that peace has come, what are the chances that that emergency rule will come to an end?
When the president comes, you got to ask President. Did I declare?
But you have his ears. You have his ears. So we are hopeful that you give...
Did I declare state of emergency? If I declared, then you can ask me.
When you met with the president,
yes,
and clearly informed him that peace has returned in Rivers State,
yes,
did you ask him when he's likely going to call off the emergency rule? What was his body language like?
Did I ask him when he would declare state of emergency? I would not ask him when he would. How can something I was not a party to? You want me to go and buy market? I don't know when it's.
But it's your state.
The last time.
Listen. Whether it's my state or not, the point we're making that why not be comfortable that peace has come?
The last time
why do you cry more than the bereaved?
Honorable Minister.
But emergency rule
the last time
democracy.
you had this kind of resolution, there was like a paper agreement. Something was put into paper. You had agreement with Mr. President.
Was it fulfilled?
It wasn't. So
why not the ones who saw that paper and started instead of you to make peace? You started saying, "Oh, this is one-sided." Now speculate. You won't see any paper. Speculate. I have allowed you to continue to speculate. It's not my business. All I know, peace has come.
But
if you are not satisfied with that peace, well, there's nothing we can do. But what is important, peace has returned. Whatever thing anybody says is not my business.
Is it true that you have resolved that Fubara will not go for second term? Did you resolve that?
I said, that is not part of your problem. It is not part of your problem. If you want to, go and ask Fubara. I mean, when I hear certain things people will talk, okay, from what I read you are saying, that he said, I will appoint the national administrators. They won the election. Come on. Why do people cause crisis?
Sir, but there is a concern that it is an aberration in a democracy.
The concern is that it makes it more intelligent when you come out to the public. How does anybody listen and say one person will appoint local government chairman? How? No, how do you say that? Is it by appointment? No election will be done. So all you do is sit in your house and sit in the last camp here. Abu Odua, I've appointed you. Agutoro, you have been appointed. Degema, you have been appointed. How can we talk? How can we reason this way? We cannot. And assuming somebody comes to tell you that, would you not say, hey man, come on. If you tell me, look, it's like he would preside over his team. Maybe if we're the same party, for example, we want to sponsor people to run an election. Will I have a role to play It's understandable. That is understandable. But for you to say he will appoint chairman of the local government, I mean, I don't know who does that. Even president cannot sit in his office and yes, people recommend to him in states. So is it not correct? President cannot know everybody in the 36 states. That's not possible. That's even appointment too. Not the one of election. How do you do that? It's like president would appoint all the governors of 36 states. How can you be anybody sit down and even say that is part of what was agreed? How can anybody say that?
Away from what was agreed, can I just ask you that the peace that we're going to have or that we have in Rivers State now, is it peace for all times? All sins are forgiven.
What is your prayer?
Isn't that what we have been preaching here all along?
We want peace.
That is our prayer. That is the prayer.
That is your prayer. Let it be so. Why are you going to ask me again? I said there's peace. You're asking me, is it for peace for all time or for short time?
All sins forgiven.
Whatever you pray for us, that's what we have.
So I guess the reason we're pressing a bit is because, first off, you're from Rivers State, and the fact that there is an emergency rule is a continued aberration from what democracy should be. So we would think that, maybe you are a bit concerned.
Provided under the Constitution.
Yes, but it is still in a democracy.
No, yes, but that is allowed. Because when you have a crisis like this, and that's why it calls for it. Do you want a crisis situation? Okay, take for example, the Supreme Court said, if there's no election for local government, there should not be money. Right? Yeah. Right. Is it not correct?
Yes.
Now, if you go back that there's no local government election, and money is not given to the local government, how will the workers be paid? Do you know, but for the emergency situation, the crisis that we have seen now, the crisis you would have seen in local government where workers will not be paid. The crisis you would have seen in the state where civil servants will not be paid because there's no budget. And that's why it calls for it. Look, do this pending when all situations. So if you go back now, no local government election, how do they get funds? How did they get funds to run? Well, just only being just on one track. We're not looking at a holistic picture. The only thing that saved our state is the emergency rule that have kept the Supreme Court judgment not to be implemented. If you don't do everything now, and you put it, you would not even use a state of emergency, how does money come? How does money come? Answer me. 5 of you, answer me. Answer me. How does it come?
Are you optimistic now? Like my colleague did say earlier, you've had these reconciliations, so to speak, in the past. Do you have that optimism this time that is going to work?
Why would I be pessimistic? Why would I be pessimistic? When you are, did I not tell you that we must do something with truth? You have interviewed us severally, and I said, with truth, there will be peace. Did I tell you there was peace then? Did I tell you? Now, have I told you there's peace? So, the difference is clear now. Do you believe there will be no peace?
Peace. As another state.
No. Do you believe there will be no peace?
We believe there will be peace. If you...
I'm surprised.
Depending on you.
Depending on me.
Because as an elder...
What is your role to make us have peace? By carrying fake news?
That's what we have asked.
Maybe if you help us with the terms of this...
We're taking clarification.
We have made peace. Simple. That's enough for...
Even with the people that supported him.
Can we go
all the former governors that supported him, his supporters...
No. See, there's one thing you must understand in life. There are decisions you take, some people may not be happy. There are people who will always benefit when there's crisis. There are people who say, look, who made money, let me go to television and abuse Wike. They make money. Now such money is no longer available. So how would they be happy? There are those who take live television, non-assembly members, go on live television 3 and say how illegal, and even though when they're not from the state, now it's no longer available. Would they be happy? Do you know what's called oil well? Where your oil is flowing. Now the oil are dry. You will naturally not be happy. So such people, you don't bother about it. What's important, the key players have they accepted peace? Yes.
All right. Let's make this a little bit national now.
Yes.
Let's talk about national politics.
Okay.
The PDP, more or less 2 factions now. During this week, one faction attempted to have a meeting, another faction attempted to have a meeting. They were disrupted. Along the line, your name kept coming up, that you were the one that instigated security men to seal off the venue of the meeting of the other side.
I don't know how you created the faction. Which are the factions? I mean, when you say there are factions, you must know the factions. Which are the factions?
There's a faction. The faction that you supported, of course, is the faction that has Senator Sam Ayahu as national secretary. The other faction has another person as secretary.
Who's that? No, tell us now.
There's an acting secretary that was appointed by the Governors Forum of the PDP. By the Governors Forum of the PDP.
Sometimes when I say
Koshedo or something like that.
I'm sorry to use that word. This democracy will survive with the role you play. This democracy will survive with the role you play. And you must play that role in sincerity and in knowing that you are going to investigate this thing, you can stand by it. There are no 2 meetings there. I was written a letter by the national chairman and secretary to provide security that they want to hold their expanded caucus meeting. They held their meeting there. All the governors were there. Where is one that he said they did not allow people to hold it? The party wrote a letter.
The meeting was supposed to hold in Wadata House.
It was held in Wadata House.
So what about the meeting that held in, what's the name of the?
Bauchi.
Yeah, the other.
That is the point. That's why I go and investigate. Governors, first of all, met in the governor's lodge, finished the meeting, and then now want to hold the expanded caucus at the Wadata House.
Honorable Minister, the Board of Trustees BOT meeting was to take place at Wadata Plaza by 10 a.m. Most of the BOT members got to Wadata Plaza and the place was sealed.
No, that's not correct.
They were locked out.
No, that's not correct. First of all, you cannot hold a meeting without the party knowing that you want to hold a BOT meeting. They have already scheduled a meeting to be held at Wadata. And then wrote a letter that they need security to be there for the expanded or whatever meeting. So when you come for such a meeting, and that's not the meeting you are coming for, the police will tell you, no, this is not the meeting that's taking place. What is taking place here, from what we have, is expanded caucus and make a meeting. And that's what they did. That is the problem we're talking about, procedure. As written by the national chairman and secretary, requesting for this. And you are saying that I went and disrupted it. I mean, it's not fair.
Let's look at...
It's not fair.
But one faction of DPDP now has headed for the ADC.
Which faction?
Atiku faction. Former Vice President Atiku has led a faction of the PDP to aid this thing.
Let's talk about a coalition that is on now. There's a coalition, and the move is to take on 2027. I put up a fight.
What is the problem of the coalition? What did they say? Why are they the coalition?
They want to take out this current administration and come in. And you... Sorry? Because they feel that they are not doing enough.
Fine. Let me just show me. I will take them one by one. Now let me ask you. I heard the Dubai say to rescue Nigeria. Nigerians are angry. The man was Senate president. How many times?
8 years.
2 times, 8 years. Is it not?
Yeah.
Nigerians were happy. Nigerians were happy when he was Senate president for 8 years. And there was no single project to Otubo. Not one. He was flying with a helicopter to go to Otubo. Nigerians were not angry then. Nigerians are only angry now. It's not correct. When Ruto was minister for 8 years, Nigerians were not angry. When Nigeria became indebted, Chinese loan, Nigerians were happy. It's now Nigerians are angry. You went and made Nigeria to be so much indebted with loans. That time Nigerians were happy. You see, it's unfortunate for we. You use Nigerians and play politics up and down. When you are angry with me, Nigerians are not happy. The only time Nigerians are happy is when you have power. The moment you are no longer in power, Nigerians are angry. You quarrel with your boss, Nigerians are angry. You didn't get anything from the tribune, Nigerians are angry. I saw a Siraki. I mean a Seriki or what?
Siraki.
What happened to Nigeria? Nigerians are happy.
At the Serika.
I mean, you said it yourself that you play politics with Nigerians.
So what I'm saying, they are saying Nigerians are angry. They want to rescue Nigeria. So I'm asking this simple question. What happened to the Air Nigeria? The Nigerians were happy then. I'm coming. I will take them one by one. When I met you in 2000, when we took heavy loan from China, things were well with Nigeria. Nigerians were not angry. Right? When they went to APC in 2015 and took over the reins of power in 2023, Nigerians are happy.
So, but every opposition
who
that
inherited,
comes...
excuse me, was it under Tinubu's government that banditry came? Was it under his government that banditry came? Yeah. It was not under his government. What is he doing? To solving the problem he met. If you, I read what former Attorney General Malabi said, that not is so embarrassing. He was Attorney General. You know what happened in this country? Why are people thinking that Nigerians have become so foolish? That you use Nigerians all the time. Nigerians are angry. What is Nigerians angry? That you did not make it. This is a man who has just come for 2 years. You were Senate President for 8 years. Tamboy, you were Speaker for 4 years. What did you do to make Nigeria not to be angry? You were a governor in Sokoto State. Sokoto people were happy and refused to elect the person you brought. What kind of politics are we playing?
And it's even about the likes of Rahul Farek Boshola that were very close to the Mr. President.
That's what I'm trying to say. When you quarrel with me, Instead of you to resolve your problem with me, he said Nigerians are angry. When you are good with him, you never knew that Nigerians were angry.
Honorable Minister.
Look at those from River State. These are people whom I have defeated from 2015 to 2023. Nigerians are angry because I defeated them. Nigerians are angry. When you want to go to power, tell us if there are people who have not been in power in this country who are coming with such an idea. I can listen to them. But not people who were the ones at the head of affairs of this country for how many years? Look at where this country, if this president did not take certain decisions he has taken, which may be very challenging, you would have known where we would have been by now. A president came and said it's a scam, took that bold step. We will not allow that. States are getting more money. Nigerians are angry. The states are getting more money. Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are angry that we are providing infrastructure in Abuja. Nigerians are angry. I cannot say that there are no challenges. There are challenges. But for Christ's sake, stop using Nigerians. You couldn't have been at the helm of affairs. I challenge anybody. Today, I challenge anybody. When you were there, what contribution did you make? History will hold you responsible. You were in social position. What was the contribution to making sure that where we are today, we are not there?
Yes,
but I'm curious, the reason...
You see, these are common things politicians will always tell us because they want power. There's no doubt about it. But the fact of the matter is that in 2015, when the APC was to be consummated, now people came with all this. Nigerians were angry at that time. Now, according to them, Nigerians are still angry. But my worry is, must we continue to recycle the, old leaders coming again? What is the position of what role do we have to play as youth?
It's your business, you the voters. No, it is you the voter.
No,
it's you the voters. Let me tell you something. I would attack people. I'm the city minister today, it's not true. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm supporting a party to win the election, I should be able to stand and say, this is why you should support. See what we have done. See what we are doing. See what we have done. Challenge whether this is correct or not. Is it not true? You are the one to say yes.
But
I'm coming now. Okay. You are the one to say yes. I've seen what you said. I'm going to vote for that. But you, the voter, you don't do that. You vote on ethnicity. You vote on religion. And that's why, so look at what somebody, a former minister, attorney general, will say. We are now pushing it to not. We are talking about something of a country. You are saying not. It's the kind of politics that will play. Thinking that will give you favor. But you forgot that you were the attorney general of the federation for 8 good years. From 2015 to 2023. What would you say about security situation then when you were attorney general? What would you say about the level of corruption then when you were attorney general? What would you say? Nigerians are angry.
But are you worried? Are you worried?
Rhetoric. No, it's the same rhetoric.
With the caliber of, persons in that part. Are you worried?
No, it does not exist. No, let me tell you. David Mark, the daughter, in his federal constitution, won under APC. David Mark lost as a PDP leader. His daughter won under APC to go to Federal House of Rep. He is the leader of the PDP in that area. It's correct.
So I was going to...
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming. Number one was the governor. He was the governor. 2023. PDP lost. What does he show? issue. The spokesperson, my friend Bolaji, I heard him last night, talking about Nigeria is angry. Every time Nigeria is angry, he was a minister under Jonathan.
Education.
Minister of Sports.
Sports. Youth.
He left and joined his leaders, Saki, to go to APC. Is correct? They left APC. He lost election 2023 for Senate in Kwara. He lost. Now he has moved the other agency simply because he has fallen out with Saraki. Now Nigerians are angry. So the point we're making, if I tell you, it's not that we give, okay, when you say people like Amici, he was this. Of what would he do in Rivers? He was governor, 2015. I defeated him there. He became a super minister, 2019. I defeated him. 2023, supported people. We defeated him. So he will talk to Rivers people about how angry they are. Has he asked how angry Rivers people are with him? Has he asked? So if you say what I'm worried, I'm not. Opposition has even decimated themselves.
Exactly.
Let me tell you why I say so.
Yes.
Now you are talking about coalition. What's the coalition? The only party today that if they put themselves well, that can still challenge this government, I feel it, is PDP.
You frustrated most of them out.
It's PDP. Because see, let me tell you, they wanted to hijack the party. We told them no. The man wanted to be chairman of PDP. Who said no? Who said no? That was the issue of the North Central. When they were saying that the politicians should come back to North Central, we stood our ground and said no. We are going to take chairman of coalition. You see, let me see.
You continue to remain in
Nigeria is listening to. Let me see whom Nigerians will listen to. Is it by mayor? Okay, look at it. I was here, and sometimes you don't really need to call their names. This boy comes out with all of them. He says the journalist, what's his name? It's big. I don't know. He said, okay. I don't really remember this name.
He was your friend.
He has not been my friend.
Really?
There are things I won't tell you. This is somebody who said he ran for president. Not, you didn't get one vote. So that is the coalition. Now you tell me when you see him there.
Yeah.
I mean, we will have people who appear on television, on sunrise, what do you call sunrise? What do you call it? That's sunrise. What do you call it? Is it kakaki or what? No. They appear, and you give them, what do you have to show? Take them one by one.
Honorable.
Caliber does not mean because I was a governor, I was a minister. I can talk, even if I live as a minister today, I can talk authoritatively. When I was minister of FCT, this was what I did. Let any Nigerians challenge me. Let any of them say, when I was Attorney General, when I was Minister of Aviation, when I was Minister of Transport, see what I did.
You are a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party.
Yes.
Do you feel comfortable with the mass exodus from your party, the PDP?
Yes.
Governors elected on the platform of the party are living in mass. Now, as this, as that, are all living, forming a coalition. Do you feel comfortable with this?
There's no coalition. Look at, for example, what is coalition? If everybody don't have, if the president did not drop you, would have been a coalition in his party. So, I have personal thing with you. It becomes that interest of Nigeria. Nigerians do a free party. For how long can you continue to deceive Nigerians? For how long do you think Nigerians adapt? That you wake up in the morning, He just left office now. It's now you remember that Nigerians are angry. You were office there for 8 years. You never knew Nigerians are angry. Come on. Who is deceiving who? And who would want to give voice or listen or give ear to this kind of thing? Who? The issue of somewhere crossing or leaving party. Politics is interesting. I don't know whoever is reading what he has in mind or for the interest of his people. But what I think the problem of people, and which they have realized it today. When we talk about people, do the right thing. If you do the right thing, we will not be where we are. There's nothing Article of Code you do to take over the national chairmanship of PDP. That's nothing they didn't do. I will stood firm. I will say no, it will not happen. The issue of secretary came. The life wire of the party is the chairman and secretary. When they did not get any, then the issue of coalition started. The issue of coalition started. That was what they did. They wanted to hijack the structured party. We said no, you cannot. You cannot. So, he's from Adamawa. Why didn't his governor join him? He's from Adamawa. Why didn't his governor join him? Why didn't Bala join him? Because these governors said, hey, we can't continue to allow you to be doing this old game. We will not allow you. So the people who call my name Wike. Am I the one who elected Sam Daddy in National Convention? Am I the one? He was elected in National Convention. Somebody went to court, said that he had gone to run for governorship election, and that he ought to, the word ought to resign. He should be not that secretary. He went to court. He won. The man went to gone down to Supreme Court. He won. I said no. They have the right to do. No, you cannot remove him. It's only national convention. Wait, convention that will be started December 8th. Why are you in a hurry to scatter your party? They now went to INEC, which was very embarrassing. To go and ask INEC to organize the two position. How can you do that? Anyway, you have gone. And I hear that INEC told them, go and obey Supreme Court judgment. You saw Shehima can do it. All of them are there. So the issue of function or no function, it does not arise. Now, when these people now saw that they cannot take over the party, the issue of coalition came. And then the message you sent to Nigerians, because Nigerians are angry. Nigerians have been angry with them. Take it. Atiku was vice president for 8 years. He left in 2002 to AC. He came back to PDP. He left for APC. He left APC, came to PDP. Now he has left to go to coalition ADC. Let me use one local man. They born you, born every time, live. How can I ever 6 months? What are you going to tell your children?
To what extent has all of this?
1999. See, I told you I was going to leave PDP. I'll fight it down. Did I not tell you that? Have I left? Have I not fought it? If someone here will know the secretary, I would have left now because they say they don't want to leave. They cannot fight. They will just want where they will be in charge. And now they are not in charge. They say, okay. There's no television you open any day.
Honorable Minister, is that why you may not have left the PDP?
This coalition talk, has it weakened the resolve to rebuild the PDP? Because I still believe that you are a member of the PDP.
What I'm saying, and I spoke with their leadership. I said, look, this gives you the opportunity. The Buccaneers have left. Buccaneers? Yes, the vampires have left. Who never named weapon. Look, take all the areas that were lost. I saw Chiroma on television. Was it the first day?
2 days ago.
Yes, talking about this one man taking part. Ask us in 1999, have won one Yobe. Since 1999, have won one Yobe. No. So what is that you are telling me? What is that? That you are telling me? PDP has been sustained by the South-South. By the South-South.
Southeast.
Yes, South-South mainly. Okay. Mainly the Southeast. Now, because of the kind of politics this leader, ask Emeka Yoda, I saw him there. What happened? Because somebody was not removed as secretary. He now left. So that's why the Nigerians are angry. This is your own private, personal thing that you could not contend with. It's a power struggle that somebody has maneuver you. You go and say, Nigerians are angry. Say that you have been defeated in that place. Don't push it to Nigerians. Let's take the issue of Nigerians very serious. Let us know the problem and focus on that and tackle the challenges.
With the combination of Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi in the same coalition, don't you think it's a big threat to APC?
Okay, just tell me. When you say with Atiku, with Peter Obi, what do you mean by that? Or what about with me not being here? I mean, so you think they are stronger than me?
Looking at the results, the last presidential.
The point I'm saying, why not you say we cannot be there? Means that coalition has failed.
Probably they feel you are not really with them. That's why they are not.
They're not what?
Really with them. Is your heart really with the PDP?
What in my heart? The coalition is the PDP.
No,
but the PDP
reframe that question. Honorable Minister, let me reframe that question
PDP?
And just ask, like, a lot of people are curious. How are you able to work for the progress of the PDP while being actively in an administration that is, the PDP is acting as an opposition?
Okay, answer it this way. Why was I able in PDP? Did I PDP governor, National Assembly, had an assembly, and then supported the APC president? No answer.
The question is for you.
That's why they should be careful, people like us. It's people like us that people need.
So in event that the PDP eventually produces a presidential flag bearer for 2027, even though you said this a number of times, where will you stand? For the president or for your party?
Did I stand for my party, the last one? Why are you saying that? Did I not say I will not support that? What's happening in the party?
So if the party produces a southern presidential candidate,
go to the bridge and I will cross it until they produce. So why are you that's something my people say. You've not caught animal. You say women don't eat it. Catch the animal first. Before we know whether women will eat or not. But let's get to the bridge. They will know how to cross at the bridge.
I want to go back to what you said earlier about Nigerians being angry, and I'm thinking that this has been the rhetoric of opposition and when the power is in. So they use it to come in. And at some point, the APC was also not totally happy with the administration that was in power. So if you look at the rhetoric that you're putting out now, that people are armed, it's the same thing that we used before. And somehow, the APC was able to manage their way and come in.
Now, what about it? It's their duty to sound out to the public. Why would they allow ourselves? If this is the same rhetoric that you have been saying, what is your duty? Your duty is to educate Nigerians. I have said here, if I've seen people who have not been in power, who are supposed to make this angry Nigerians not to be angry, and they are saying that Nigerians are angry, the likelihood that you may listen to them. But how can you listen to somebody who has been in power, who has refused to make these Nigerians angry to be happy? It's not the one coming to say Nigerians are angry. If today I'm no longer in office. And then you hear me say, Nigerians are angry. You should ask me, Nigerians are angry. When you were in office, what happened? Do you understand the point? You cannot come here and tell me Nigerians are angry. When you were in office, what did you do to change this anger of Nigerians to be happy? You did not do it. That's the point. So we want to educate Nigerians, tell them to be careful about this group of persons. They are not talking about anger of Nigerians. They are talking that they are angry that they have left power. That is only the anger. So the only slogan they can say is to say to Nigerians, Nigerians are angry. And you have the opportunity, knowing that that is the rhetorics, to tell Nigerians, listen, be careful. For how long can we continue to be deceived? Yes, I was deceived yesterday. Yes, I'm deceived today. But will I continue to be deceived tomorrow? No. Look at the positions they have all held. Chairman of boards, governorship, governors, ministers, this. How did they change the conditions of Nigerians? Ask them that question. Ask them before you say, the coalition you are doing, coalition to do what? Coalition to take over power that you were never before? Are you are doing coalition to take over power that you were never there? That things were better when you were there, when you were Speaker of House of Reps, when you were Senate President, when you were Minister of Aviation, when you were Attorney General, when you were Minister of Transportation. Tell us.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I think we have exhausted the issues of politics. Let's just do a quick mop-up on FCT, and then we'll call it a day. First, you mentioned one issue. I'd like you to give a clarification on that. The judges' quarters. When the project was flagged off, I thought it was supposed to have a terminal date. I mean, was supposed to form part of the project to be So how far with that? When
we are working, believing that by September, because the last time I went there, the wrong far plastered. The one I can be quite sure is the Premier division.
Okay.
That's only one building, but it has about 40 duplexes. So it is not quite easy, but the roof, they are plastered. So when they are working day and night to see that they meet up to the period they gave. If you remember, it was flagged down last year, September. So going up to 1 year. Tell me which project in this country. And these are the things we talk about. Tell me projects in this country that we flag off road November last year. Within 6-7 months, it's done. Tell me under any of them, that can say one project.
Okay. The other one has to do with the bus terminals. They've been commissioned.
Yes.
How soon will Abuja residents begin to feel the impact of those terminals?
I think that the legal work now with those who have the company they've chosen to run it. I think they are tying up the legal documentation. Because it's not going to be run by the FCT. You have to give that to private people. If not, it will die next 2 weeks.
And then lastly, what is the commitment? I asked the question much earlier about sewage and refuse control.
If you tell me what problem is sewage in the Southland area, I agree. And that is reason for it because of the procurement process. You know, part of the problem we have is procurement process. You see, no matter how beautiful you have an idea to do, if you don't follow the rules, tomorrow you also find yourself in problem. But if you are saying in the city here, there's a lot of improvement. I'm not saying, and hear me well, that you have totally solved the issue of the environmental sanitation. No. And that is one of the major problems all over the world in terms of cleanness of city. Environmental issue you may not see it as a project. It's one of the heavy projects that government embarks upon that if they tell them what they spend, what is there to remove refuse, how much will it cost? It's a major project. And the cost implication is very, very high. But what I'm trying to say is that we could not improve every day. and to get to where we want to be.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. From my colleagues, Felicity, your participants.
Thank you very much for giving us this audience, and perhaps let's find a solution to the children that are home.
Abdurrahman.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. It's been a very wonderful moment with you. We do hope that a lot will still be done in the area of waste management within an FCT.
And Ayo.
I wish you the best of luck in achieving peace in River State.
Chris?
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We hope that you find a way to resolve the face-off with your workers at the FCTA. Most of them had written letters, and they are worried that you've not looked into their letters. That way there will be synergy and no gates will be blocked.
I didn't know that you are their counsel. I thought you came here to interact with us. But
is that your partition too?
For what you are saying now, you've gone beyond me that time by saying that they have written and not listened. I want to put it to you. Nobody has written to me. And if you have written to me, because you have locked the gate, I have no access to it.
You can't see the letter.
So I can't see the letter.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Yes. It's been nice allowing us to invade your privacy yet again. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's how we come to the end of this session. Looking forward to the next session very soon. On behalf of all of us here, my name is Benga Arulima. Do enjoy the rest of the day. We'll see you around.
Today, most especially the Sultan Abubakar Airport Road, and of course, dear to our hearts, the VIP and Protocol Terminal here in Sokoto State. This event represents not only a significant milestone in our transportation infrastructure, but also underscores our commitment to enhancing air travel and connectivity in Nigeria. Your Excellency, we thank you.